Okay, here we go. So, the name of this section is 5.2 Common Factors. Okay? A really good skill in math is to be able to not only solve problems, go from question to answer, but to be able to go from answer back to question. Right? Working backwards. Working with what you think is correct back to the start. And if you can do that, that's further evidence for you that you're right. Right? For example, if I had 35 divided by 7, I know that's 5, right? That's just basic arithmetic. But even more so, I know that's 5, because if I work backwards from my answer, 5 times 7, where do I end up at? 35. Right? So that's even further proof for myself that I'm correct. Okay? You follow the motivation here? So today, that's basically what we're doing. Is we're undoing, or trying to understand how to undo what you did last day with 5.1. Right? I gave you some terms, and I asked you to multiply them together. You got an answer. How do you know that's right, other than checking it from the back? Well, it could be right if you could go from your answer back to where you started. Right? Do we have to?
It's a good question.
Grunting and groaning. Okay? That process of undoing multiplying polynomials is known as factoring. And the rest of this chapter is dedicated to that process. There's a number of ways of doing it. I'm going to show you a method today that's very straightforward and very simple. Okay? It's called common factoring. So, okay, so you've got an example here. Multiply, let me just move this up here. Multiply 5x by 3x squared plus 7x minus 10. Okay, so we just use distributive property here, so we multiply the 5x by all of these terms. We've done that before. So we get 15x cubed plus 35x squared minus 50x. Okay, so the question is, how do I go backwards? How would I go from this answer back to here? Right? Maybe put it like this. If I restructured this question so that you didn't know this upper part here, you didn't know that, you hadn't seen it before, and I just gave you this part right here, and I said, all right, what did I multiply to get to here? What stuff did I multiply together to get to here? Okay. I mean, you know the answer. Obviously, you multiplied 5x by this polynomial here. But what if you didn't know? Right? Well, using the fact that we do know, let's see how that can help us. Okay? So, this term in front here is very important. Okay? What do all of these terms here have to do with this 5x? Is there any relationship between all of these terms and this 5x here? Maybe just think about that for a moment, right? Well, all of the coefficients here, you'll notice, all divide by 5. Okay, interesting. Also, these x terms, x cubed, x squared, and x, those all divide by x. They all have an x that can be divided out. Okay? And this process by which we go from the multiplied form back to where we started is known as factoring. Okay? And this 5x here is called a factor of all of these terms. In fact, it's called the greatest common factor because it is the largest thing that all of these terms divide by. Okay, so that's the focus of today, is finding the greatest common factor. Okay, that's the blanks at the bottom of your notes there. We're going to find the greatest common factor of a polynomial. Okay, or we just write GCF for short, greatest common factor GCF, just so we don't have to say that big mouthful every time. Okay, so that's our goal today. We need to figure out what is the largest thing that we can divide out of our polynomial. And then we'll see how that helps us arrive back at this initial step, the step where we were about to multiply everything together.